Thank you everyone for joining us today and welcome back to the iSH podcast. We're at Energy Coast University Technical College today and you'll see the amazing workshop in the background behind me. Today we're exploring the very unique educational offering here at ECUTC. It was created as a partnership between industry and education and opened in 2014. And today I'm here with Simon, who is the Vice Principal, and he's going to tell us a bit more about it. So welcome, Simon.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay.
How are you today?
I'm all right, yeah.
You keeping well?
Loving the microphone in front of my face.
So this will be very new for a teacher,
Yeah,
being
just
on
a little
podcast,
bit, yeah.
won't it?
Yeah.
So for anybody that's not familiar with Energy Coast UTC, can you just tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so we're a school for 14 to 19-year-olds. We take students into year 10, and we offer an academic subjects alongside technical subjects. So our students at year 10 will do your very normal English, math, science. They'll choose an option subject, but they'll also do a GCSE in engineering, and they'll do a GCSE in civil engineering. And then we also offer a practical rotation session, which is where they basically rotate around our teaching experts and do various technical skills. In terms of how we're set up, we're built to be a school which associates itself with industry. I want our students to leave here work ready, confident, work ready, understanding what the working environment's like, and we develop that through our curriculum throughout Key Stage 4 and Key Stage 5.
Yeah. So what brought you to teach here at ECUTC?
I suppose the honest answer is that we were moving to Cumbria, and I'm originally a PE teacher. So there was a job here as a PE teacher, the first PE teacher, that was 10 years ago, and that was the job that was available at the time, and I applied for it, and I thought, I should be all right for a bit, and then I've been here 10 years, and my job's completely changed. I do very little PE teaching now, much more on the vocational technical side, and Cumbria, or the west of Cumbria in particular, is just incredible in terms of the opportunities for students. You know, I originally come from Yorkshire, and school was school, sixth form, university, job, or school, college, job. That was the options you had. Whereas here in West Cumbria, the opportunities are school, sixth form, apprenticeships. The amount of apprenticeships that are available for the students around here, degree apprenticeships, is just, it's incredible. It's a great opportunity for West Cumbrian students. And I've kind of just got amazed by this type of school, the way you do it.
Yeah, because it is a very different type of education, isn't it, to your traditional secondary school environment? Yeah,
it is. So ultimately, it is still an educational setting. So it has to still be run by people who understand students and understand education, and we give them those core subjects that everybody still needs, and you know it's still incredibly academic. However, what we offer is this idea of understanding the world of work and developing skills for the industries that are around us. So the reason why we are a technical college is obviously the industries around us are very much geared towards engineering, and then about 5 years ago we made the decision to split into engineering and civil engineering because the industries told us to do that. We also have a digital pathway as well, and then to ensure that we cover all bases of all students, the option subjects that we cover are quite vast as well, to allow students still that choice even when they come to us at 14. So you can do things like animal care and health and social with us as well, but we still have that core technical engineering, civil engineering background.
Yeah, and you mentioned the west coast of Cumbria and the types of industries that we have here locally. Is that why you feel that this type of education is so important for the area specifically? Yeah,
we need a pathway through to those industries, and we also need to understand that West Cumbrian students, they love West Cumbria, and for West Cumbria to thrive, you need really good students coming through and developing and accessing and developing the social economic role of the area. So we need them to know what industries are available, because if you're a 14-year-old student, actually at the moment you just say, well, I'd quite like an apprenticeship here, and that's the only place that they'll necessarily say, whereas you open your eyes up, you could do this apprenticeship or that apprenticeship.
Yeah.
You could still go to university if you want to. And it's about making sure the students understand where their career progressions can go.
Yeah. And I know for myself, I've obviously worked with the school for a number of years now, and I'm in and out all the time for different projects. Why is it so important to have employers, local quality employers, coming in and working with the kids?
They give the students a completely different aspect of what's going on. So to give you an example of what we do with employers, you're right, employers are in all the time, and it's brilliant. We adapt our curriculum and our timetable. Schools are big juggernauts. They work on timetables, they work on bells. So every single day at 8:30 the bell will go here, and at 8:45 it'll go again, and every hour after that.
Yeah.
But what we try and do is adapt our curriculum and our timetable to allow employers to come in. So on a Tuesday morning, as an example, we do something called Employer Project, and that is wholly run by employers. So our sixth form students will have lessons with employers. And what they do is the employers will set them a project at the start. They'll put them into teams, and then they will allow that project to run over the course of 10 to 12 weeks, and they'll get different people from their organisation or different organisations coming in and talking to them and explaining what their job roles are. And from start to finish, the students will get that information, and at the end they do the bit that I absolutely love them doing, which is when they come and they present back to the employers, and students need that opportunity to go and see and feel what that's like. It's like being sat here with you. We've all got butterflies when we do stuff like this, and I want the students to feel those butterflies, because after that they feel better, they get better from it.
So that exposure to industry is what helps prepare them for the future.
Yeah.
So when we talk about future skills and work readiness, say in the next 10 to 15 years, what type of future focused skills do you think the kids are going to need for that?
So let's just start off with the main thing they're going to need is actual essential skills. So we use Skills Builder here, and we've always wanted to develop the whole student, the whole person. And I think you can go and do anything in this world if you've got the right attitude and you've got the right essential skills. So for me, being able to go out there and have the ability to adapt to the local area, to adapt to the current kind of employer sessions that are on or the different jobs that are available is so important. But so is problem solving, so is working in a team, but understanding how to work in a team, conflict in teams. When someone does a disagreement with you, how do you cope with that? They're the kind of essential skills that I'd be looking for. In terms of technical skills, we're always going to be looking for those technical skills that the nuclear industry is going to need. We're going to need a lot more designers going forward. We need all sorts of different job levels, and we adapt and change depending on what industry tells us. So one of the things that I will do is make sure that our curriculum suits the needs of the industry that needs the jobs coming. That's why we moved to civil engineering, because there was quite a lot of building in the area. That's why we look at digital, because we were asked to look at digital and see whether we could progress it through. We've just completed a bit of a project with Shepley's where they've built us an electrical room, and they did that because they want more electrical people. Similar with Morgan Sindall, they've done the same thing with us. They said, right, well, we're probably looking for these types of apprentices going forward. So at that point, we change our curriculum and try and manage it round.
So if I was to ask a student themselves, if I collared a student in the corridor and said, what do you think about being a pupil here at ECUTC, what do you think their response would be?
Depends what day it is.
Not a Monday morning then.
I think as a student leaves here, I think we're a small supportive school. As vice principal, I kind of pride myself on knowing pretty much every student. And you can't necessarily say that about a huge secondary school. We bespoke our careers advice. We attempt to allow students to have opportunities. And I think that's really key, opportunity. No one gets anywhere in the world without being given an opportunity. So if a student comes to me and says, I'd really like to try some welding with a company, I will fight tooth and nail to try and get them into a company for a couple of days to see what welding's like. Because even if they don't like it, that's really important, because at least they know they don't like it. I think students will say that we are supportive. I think they'll say that we make them work hard. Yeah, definitely. I think they'll say that we focus in and make sure that they are focused in lessons. I think they'll say that we speak to them and ask them what they want and where they're going next. And I think they'll say, I know what I want to do now when I leave school. And that's it. You know, the two things that I really believe in for any student to succeed in any GCSE is they've got to have a vision and they've got to have opportunity, because then they can see the point in it.
Yeah. So I guess when summer rolls around and those GCSEs have been handed out, or T-levels, it must bring immense pride for the school to see everyone.
Oh, it's the best day.
Yeah.
It's the best day because you stood there and you're waiting for a child to open their results in front of their parents, and it's a all-encompassing day of just absolute joy. And even for those students who don't necessarily get the grades that they're looking for, my job really starts then, because it's, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? How can we help you?
Yeah.
We've got to remember that across the whole country, only 45 to 50% pass English and maths. That's a scary figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got to look after all those students who aren't necessarily going to pass first time and direct them to the next stage. And what I think is great about the industry in this area, and I'll give you a really good example of this from a student who was here, is now at Shepley's. She didn't quite get her maths, and she went to Shepley's. She's a fantastic plater by the sounds of it, from what they say, and she's gone and got a maths later because she's now doing a job that she loves and wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's what we want in life, innit? I want the students to get good destinations.
And do you think that's probably quite a good message to employers, especially maybe around English and maths? Is it really exploring that job that they have on offer and looking at, well, what level of English and maths do we require for these children to actually progress and come into our workplace?
I think it's important to have a wide spread of jobs available.
Yeah.
And I think for schools, you know, we're judged on our English, math and all the different results. So we are required by government to get the grades that, like, to get as high grades as possible, if you like. But I also think it's important for students to take the pressure off them and say, look what the opportunities are out there for you. There are opportunities. No one's just going to drop off the face of the earth because you haven't passed your English or your maths. There's another step for you.
Yeah.
And it might not feel like that sometimes in year 11. As I say, there's 80 days to go until your English GCSE, and your English teacher's going, come on, we've got to get this done. But there is always another step, and it's just finding that other step.
Yeah. So what type of jobs are students from ECUTC progressing on to? If you could just give us a flavour of the types of things they're going into.
So the vast majority of them will go into a technical engineering position. So the vast majority of our year 13 students, so 90% of our year 13 students go on to a higher or degree level apprenticeship. To put that in perspective, nationally it's about 10%.
Wow.
So it's big.
Yeah.
And they will go, you know, we've got asset management degree apprentice, we've got a civil engineering degree apprentice, we've got a town planner degree apprentice, we've got project management apprentices, we've got platers and welders and electricians and bricklayers. You know, really widespread from what students are doing. And you know, we've also got students going off and not doing technical education anymore, and that's good too, because they're doing something they want to do. They're going into the world, and the one thing I will say to them is, look, you've got to enjoy your job, because you're there a long time.
Yes, you are.
You're there for a lot of hours of your day. You have to enjoy your job, and the more you enjoy your job, the better you will do in it.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the unique things, really, isn't it, about Energy Coast, is that it's really filling that skills gap we have locally. So we know in Cumbria we don't have as many achieving level 4 and above, or degree level apprenticeships, and we have gaps in engineering, we have gaps in electrical, we have gaps in plumbing, and those gaps are getting bigger. So is that the opportunity here? Is that the sort of the opportunity for the college to fill, and is that maybe what we see is for the future of the college as well? Yeah,
like I said before, I want to adapt to what industry wants us to do. And there's 3 big gaps in education and industry. and I'll be really honest with you about it. So the first gap is between primary and secondary education, and the differences between the two of them, and the kind of years 7, 8 and 9 year groups, and that transition period. And then there's the transition period into employment, because a student will go from a school which has got a form tutor, their favourite teacher, the pastoral support, me as vice principal, a careers advisor, all that, and then they'll go into industry. And some companies have got all that support in place, and some companies don't. And also, from what I feel in industry, is that as a school, we can really, really help industry, and we can really direct them with students, what they're like, how they're coming through. And what I'd love industry to do is go, well, let's come in and tell you what we want. What type of student do you want coming forward? You know, I'm saying I want a student who is able to adapt. I want a student who's good at problem solving. Is that what industry want? And the companies that we work with, you know, we work with probably over 100 companies, but the ones we work with consistently, they're in every week. They're getting to know the students. They're understanding what teenagers are like. And they're developing skills within those teenagers that they wouldn't necessarily get elsewhere. And you see those, and you see time after time our students getting apprenticeships with those particular employers.
I was just about to say, because that'll now become a two-way relationship, doesn't it? That employer really gets to know that young person, that young person feels comfortable with that employer and wants to apply there. So it's got almost like a bit of a matching system, isn't it?
I mean, Morgan Sindall call it the golden thread. They do a lot. They do year 10, year 11, year 12 and 13. They make sure they have kind of hit points throughout it. Sellafield do quite a lot as well. They've got their outreach team, which again are trying to hit kind of different points within it. And I would like it to be a pipeline. There's nothing better than a child coming to you in February of their final year, year 13, and saying, I've got an apprenticeship. And this is what I need to do to get it. These are the grades I need, these are the UCAS points I need.
Because that must be so motivational for them.
It's a lovely warm fuzzy feeling inside, isn't it? You've got a student there who has got the job that they want, and they just know what UCAS points they've got. And this year looks a bit more tricky in terms of the amount of apprenticeships available, but hopefully in the next 2 years that'll rise again.
So thinking about the future then, what are the aspirations for ECUTC's future?
First and foremost, really good teaching. You can't run a school, you can't run an educational establishment without fantastic teachers in the classrooms. And that's what we've got at the moment. And that's what we need to keep going for. Because if you have really good teaching in lessons, you have well-behaved students and you have good outcomes. And those students will progress on and they get the opportunities they deserve. Aside of that, I want to work much closer with industry, even more than we have done. Really hone our curriculum to what we're doing. I'd quite like more interactions with industry within Key Stage 4, so your year 10 and year 11 year groups. And I'd like more pipelines like we've got with Morgan Sindall. I'd like more obvious, well, this is the trajectory you're going to. And that's where I see us going in the future. We'll also look at the labour market information, and in Cumbria, you've got the NHS, you've got tourism. You know, there's all areas that we could explore in terms of being a UTC. It doesn't have to be a technical educational society.
Great. And well, I know this coming from a public education background myself, but especially for teaching, it's a really busy job. So when you're not here, busy with all these children and trying to get them through GCSEs and T-levels, what are you doing in your time off?
I'm really lucky. So I've got 3 daughters at home. I've 3 young daughters, a set of twins, and my wife at home. And when I walk through the door in an evening, there ain't time to think about school or work because you've got these 3 beautiful children who want to tell you about their day and tell you what they might have learned at school. And so I get that chance, and that's really nice because I get to switch off. You know, like I do all the normal stuff, walk my dog, I live in the countryside, I love being out in the countryside, I love my sport. But ultimately your family's the thing that makes you switch off, and I'm lucky in that respect that I can literally walk through the door and sit down and we'll just start talking about the spellings or the maths I've done that day, or you know, might be going to football with the eldest one, and so it's an easy switch off for me. Teaching's all encompassing, it's really busy, and it's busy from 8:30 in the morning till whatever time at night. And the reason for that is you have the privilege of having somebody else's child in your care for a prolonged period of time, the vast majority of the day. And so it's really important you get that right. Some children love school, some children hate school, and we have to cater for them all. And we've got to try and allow them to find their way forward and progress and have a vision for the future.
You mentioned your own children there. What are your hopes, dreams, aspirations for them?
That's a good question.
They're just little at the minute, though, aren't
so
they?
I've got a set of twins who are 4 and a daughter who's 6. So obviously the 3 girls, and one of the things I want them to do is to know that they can go do any job they want. If they've got a vision and they want to go out there and they want to achieve anything, they shouldn't hit a glass ceiling. They shouldn't be restricted because they're girls. And I will always tell them, no, you bray on. Doesn't matter whether you're a girl, doesn't matter anything. You just go and try and achieve what you want to achieve. And for me, I want them to really enjoy their job. I want them to be happy with what they're doing. And I couldn't care less what it was as long as they're happy. Yeah. But I don't want them restricted by the society that we sometimes live in, if you like. It's really important to me. It's really important to me here, the girls here. I want them to have confidence to progress and say, I can go on and do that. And it's so important that to enable someone to have a little bit of confidence and go, I can do that. And
so that's the message to take away, isn't it, for pupils?
Yeah, I can do that. And if you've got someone in front of you and they're really struggling, you just go, well, give it a go. Kids hate failing. Oh my God, they hate failing. My daughter, Molly, she hates getting something wrong, right? But so does everybody. But what we have to learn is that actually failing, getting something wrong, is then how we progress and learn. And if students feel comfortable in their classroom, they're comfortable enough to fail and learn and progress.
Well, that's probably a good message for anybody to take away, really, isn't it?
You can take that one.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Simon. It's been great to be here at ECUTC, and I look forward to working with you more in the future.
Thanks.